Hello and welcome to the in-depth series of Drishti IAS. My name is Pooja Dwivedi. Today is NALSA Day. Today is the day when NALSA was established to provide free legal aid to the poor and the indigent. We are going to discuss that only. Also, as Justice D.Y. Chandrachud gets appointed as India's next Chief Justice of India, he will serve as the patron-in-chief in NALSA. So, we will discuss everything about NALSA. We will also discuss the constitutional and legal provisions which are related to NALSA. And what is the significance of free legal aid as it was added in the Directive Principles of State Policy. NALSA Day, what is NALSA? National Legal Service Authority of India. Importance of free legal aid. Are there any constitutional provision? Yes, there are. There is a provision in DPSP and certain legal provisions as well, such as Rule 9A of the Code of Civil Procedure 1908 along with other. Evolution of free legal aid in India. What does NALSA want to achieve? Who is eligible for free legal services in India? Are there any other legal initiatives which are relevant to this? And challenges, solution, plus a question in the last. So NALSA Day is celebrated every year on 9th of November. And why is it celebrated? Because NALSA was established by Legal Services Authority Act of 1987, but it was established in the year 1995. Okay, the act is 1987, but in which year was it established? It was established in 1995. Remember this, don't get confused. To offer support and help the weaker sections of the society, including women, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, other minorities, the indigent people, and also to provide legal awareness camps, to them. On 9th of November every year, legal awareness camps are created so that people understand that there is the provision of free legal aid if they are being accused of something and they want to represent themselves through a lawyer, but they do not have the money for it, so it can happen. Nationwide programs are also organized each year along with statewide programs. Moving ahead, let's talk about NALSA. NALSA is an authority, National Legal Service Authority, which provides free legal aid, also advice to the needy, and the disposal of cases via mediation and amicable settlement. So that means it wants to do certain things such as lower the burden on the courts, first that, and also provide right to legal aid, which is actually implicit under Article 21. How? Because if you want to live a dignified life, right to life and liberty, you will be needing to secure your dignity through the help of a representative, a lawyer. If you need any sort of legal aid, NALSA is there for you. Alright, moving ahead. Now let's talk about the different levels. At the national level, we have National Legal Service Authority, which is headed by the Chief Justice of India. He serves as she serves as the patron-in-chief. Now at the state level, we have State Legal Services Authority, and the Chief Justice of whatever state we are talking about, of that state's High Court, the Chief Justice of that state High Court is going to serve as the patron-in-chief. At the district level, we have another one, Legal Authority. That district judge of the district is the ex-officio chairman. At the Taluka subdivisional level, we have Taluka subdivisional National Legal Service Committee. And for the district level as well, it's not the authority but the committee. For the Taluka subdivision level Legal Service Committee, the senior civil judge is the head of it. If we talk about High Court Legal Service Committee is there. For Supreme Court Legal Service Committee is there. So these are the different stages. And if we talk about how do they work, so as State Legal Service Authority, whenever they are working, their statistics, their report is provided according to monthly activity reports. Okay, it is reported to the National Legal Service Authority from all the state legal service authorities. Annual report also go to the NALSA, and NALSA also prepares its own annual report, and then it is laid before both the houses of the Indian Parliament. So it works like this. Now let's move on and talk about the importance of free legal aid. It works on the principle that no one should be deprived of professional advice just because they are not having the enough finances to aid themselves. Also, in order to deliver equal justice, it is important that inequalities at the level of finances are removed. That is why free legal aid is provided. To safeguard the constitutional pledge under Article 39A of the DPSP, also Article 14, right to equality, Article 21, so we need. Also minimizing the backlogs of courts in India, because courts are choked with pending cases. If certain cases are able to get disposed of at the lowest of the levels, why not do that? Let's move forward and talk about constitution and legal provisions of the DPSP. Article 39A, it was added by the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976 to provide free legal aid to the poor, for which states shall secure that the operation of the legal system promotes justice, and not justice only for those who have money, on a basis of equal opportunity, to provide free legal aid by suitable legislation or scheme or in any other way. Alright, and then NALSA was created. Article 14 and 22 clause 1, state to ensure equality before law. Also the Code of Civil Procedure 1973. It provides statutory implementation of free legal aid under section 304 clause 1, in which the judge should provide, if he feels or she feels that the person is indigent, he or she can provide the professional to such person. And also according to Rule 9A of the Code of Civil Procedure 1908, similar kind of provision can be done for poor and the needy. Okay, so evolution, let's talk about evolution of free legal aid in India. It all started in 1952. India was quick to respond to the need of free legal aid. But in 1960, a couple of rules were set up by the legislature to ensure that such a system can be implemented through the help of laws. Then legal aid boards, societies and law departments were created for this activity. In 1980, the Committee for Implementing Legal Aid Scheme was created under the chairmanship of the Honorable Justice P.N. Bhagwati. Then he ensured that a body, an overarching body should be created in order to provide free legal aid to the poor. Also, this committee formulated Lok Adalats, so that amicable disposition of cases can happen. Let's move forward and talk about other important judiciary interventions which helped us to get our free legal aid system evolved. In Husainara Khatun versus Home Secretary State of Bihar, it was noted by the court that there exists a system which is very biased towards the rich. There is a legal system that is not serving the just purposes. So, right to free legal service was made necessary, and it should be ensured that reasonable, fair and just procedures are provided to the poor, which is implicit in Article 21. This was noted by Justice Bhagwati. In state of Haryana versus Darshana Devi, it was said by the court that no poor should be deprived of the justice market only because they do not have the financial aid. In Khatri versus state of Bihar, again, it was stated that it is mandatory for the sessions judge to inform the accused of their rights to free legal aid if they do not have legal awareness of that. So these are the many cases. In Sukhdas versus Union Territory of Arunachal Pradesh, it was noted by the court that there is a large number of illiterate people. When it comes to legal awareness, they are not aware of their rights, so they fall behind when it comes to getting legal justice, legal aid and then justice. It is essential to promote legal literacy and legal awareness. For this, we can have schemes. For this, we can have programs, volunteers. Moving ahead, let us talk about what does NALSA want to achieve. Very simple. It wants to achieve that every person is provided who are the needy ones, free legal aid and advice, spreading legal awareness, organizing Lok Adalats, promoting settlement of disputes through alternate dispute resolution mechanism. That means if one cannot, if the court is having such a huge backlog, it necessarily wants that at the lowest of the levels, if it is possible to get any disputes settled amicably through mediation, then alternate dispute resolution in the form of Lok Adalats can happen. Provide compensation to victims of crime. So these are the many things that NALSA wants to achieve. Who all are eligible? Women and children, members of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, industrial workmen, victims of mass disaster, violence, flood, drought, earthquake, industrial labor, disabled persons in custody, annual income of less than the amount prescribed by the respective state governments if the case is before any court other than the Supreme Court. And in the case that if it's before the Supreme Court, Then less than rupees 5 lakh. Victims of trafficking in human beings or begar. Other initiatives, legal service mobile app has been created that you can download from the Google Play Store. It will help you to initiate legal proceedings by getting a lawyer. Okay. Then Disha scheme is also there, which is going to provide legal help through these many things. A telelaw. What is telelaw? In which an interface, e-interface, electronic interface platform aims to empower people through pre-litigation advice. Once you go to the court, it is litigation. But if you want to have certain advice which is before the process, then you can call on this number. You can have an interaction on this platform for rightfully claiming their entitlements and for timely redressal of their difficulties, connecting the poor and marginalized section through a pool of panel lawyers. Nyaya Bandhu, which is pro bono legal service, it aims to advance the culture of pro bono and creating a framework for dispensation of offering pro bono legal services across the country. Okay. Then comes Nyaya Mitra to facilitate district judiciary for assisting in the reduction of pendency of decade-old pending cases in district courts. Then legal literacy and awareness to provide legal awareness and legal literacy to the people who are lacking, who are wanting of it. Now let's move forward and talk about the challenges. First of all, there are many challenges which are revolving around this topic, such as lack of public legal education. People are not very well aware of their rights, so we need to make sure that awareness programs are there. Legal awareness is also not there. So to create legal awareness, NALSA Day has many camps to ensure that people are aware of their rights. Lack of support by advocates and lawyers. Many lawyers and advocates do not want to provide social services, so they are not very interested, or even if they have enrolled, they might be very cold towards those who are in need of help. So if this kind of thing happens, they might not be able to get themselves invested in such matters. So second is that there is a lack of power for Lok Adalats. It's a toothless tiger because certain times it does not have the necessary infrastructure. Other than that, it cannot ensure that the parties to any dispute are definitely present. So there is a case that this Lok Adalat system is a toothless tiger. Then underutilization of paralegal volunteers, because sometimes their potential whatever they have in order to volunteer for providing legal aid awareness, it is not polished, they are not well read, they are not well trained. So these are the certain challenges. What are the solutions? First of all, we have to ensure that non-governmental organizations should come forward and ensure that they also work in the same field. If they could form an alliance with certain other NGOs in the same field, they could help the poor. Legal aid programs and legal awareness programs should be created specifically in those areas where literacy is not allowed. Then legal literacy mission. Many countries have a 2-year plan or 5-year plan of legal literacy mission. India can also have the same. Better remuneration for lawyers who have enrolled in NALSA services could provide an incentive. Then feedback approach should work, a transparent system in which feedback could be garnered from those who have availed the NALSA services and SALSA services. So this could also help in order to understand where the NALSA is going right and wrong. Now let's talk about our question. This is an essay topic. Without equal access to the law, the system not only robs the poor of their only protection, but it places in the bands of their oppressors the most powerful and ruthless weapon ever invented. Reginald Herbert Smith. So you have to write an essay over it. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. That's it, and stay engaged.